All right, we're live on Hangouts anyway. Just waiting for YouTube to join up as usual. So, where's my little thing here? There we go. Welcome live from the crossroads of America, a talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. We'll answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at Rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. We are broadcasting on gun channels and YouTube. So there you go. And if you want to join the panel, I do have a link over on the gun channel side for you can join. That's about it for now. I mean, I've got, believe it or not, Saturday afternoon, Labor Day. I mean, hell, summer's not over yet. Memorial Day's weekends here. And I don't even have one person in the chat. How sad. But that's okay. You know? But I got Ohio 45 ACP over there on gun channels, which is good. So even though nobody's listening, I'll introduce my panel anyway. I got the one and only Patriot in the Dark. How you doing?
Great, Rick. Glad to be back.
Good.
Well, at least for today.
Yes.
Let's see if I can sneak it in.
Then we got the one and only Clover Tech.
Hey, Rick. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. Oh, Midnight Ranger showing up. He says, I'm listening, but I'm at work. So, okay, that's all it's about, is listening to the conversation. You don't, as we were discussing before we went live, you don't have to look at me and look at all my junk behind me, you know. There's only there really to look at. But, you know. All right. As I said in my title, I hope people have got something to talk about because I don't know. I think what we were talking about before we went live was I'm getting burnt out, I feel. You know, I know I only do 2 live shows a week, but trying to find topics for them, you know, and keep them going. Sometimes I'm not a big channel, but, you know, I got to the point where you know, like Wednesday night, oh, God, I got to do my show tonight. Or like this afternoon, oh, it's Saturday, I got to do my show at 3, you know. And maybe I need to take a break. I don't know. What do you got? I mean, it's different. To me, it's a hobby. I mean, it's more, I don't know, it's becoming sort of more of a business to you, though, isn't it, Clover?
Yeah, it's pretty much always been. I've always approached it that way. Yeah, regardless. Yeah, here's the deal with it, I guess, Rick, in a way. This is a great thing to talk about because there's a lot of folks out there that turn on the cameras and all this. And you've got all kinds of things. I mean, you feel obligated to an extent. There's many times, especially Thursday night for me, because it's 11 Eastern is when we go on, and it's going to run an hour and a half. And, you know, I have a topic. Usually I have, you know, meetings or stuff throughout the day on Thursdays. So I've definitely got things we could discuss or talk about, but it's just so late and I'm so tired throughout the day. And there's many times that I'm like, do I want to just say I'm sick, you know, or something that I can't do this. But, you know, you feel obligated and you do it anyway. And sometimes, I found this out. Sometimes when you want to do it the least is when you end up having the best conversation. And I don't know why that is. But, you know, it's kind of like I can remember back in my church going days anyway. I can remember just did not want to get up and go to church, you know?
Yeah.
And then you do, and you get through it and you're like, wow, I'm glad it was a great message or whatever. You know, I'm glad I went. You know, I feel renewed. I feel inspired. I feel it's given me a second wind. So, I guess some of it has to do with perspective. But you know, when you're doing two a week, and I've cut back, as you know, of course, I was doing 4 a week.
Yeah.
And you know, cut back, drop Wednesday completely. Friday's no longer live except for once a month. And that's really helped. So there is a point, and for you it may be 2, you know, a week. There is a point when you overdo it. So, if you feel like you need to push one to every couple of weeks, whether it's the Wednesday or the Saturday or both of them, and it's like, hey, I'm going to do this every 2 weeks for a little while, then that's fine. But one of the things that kept me going with for a week was that they were all different. We talked about different stuff, right? It
Yeah.
was not a free for all. It was not, we're only talking 2A news, that sort of stuff. They were kind of themed. So when you've got that, it really helps you to focus in and find stories and things to talk about, because it's specific. It's not, I guess it's like you get overwhelmed, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this particular show, we can talk about anything. So there's all of these topics that are gun related, firearm related, 2A related, whatever that's out there. And it's just kind of overwhelming. Where if you narrowed it down sometimes with the show that, okay, we just talk about self-defense. We just talk, or like your Wednesday,
Yeah.
it's more so on disability.
Yeah.
Then it narrows down those stories and those topics that you can do a search for or whatever, and actually talk about it. And then the other thing is having a panel. Having a panel that you've got your lobby chats, and a lot of weirdness goes on in there, and it gets off the rails and stuff like that. And a lot of people's shows start out as lobby chats. There's nothing wrong with that. But eventually you get a show structure down. You control the room as the host, and you've always done a pretty good job at that, Rick. And then you start to learn the panelists that you bring in or that come in. You start to learn the ones that really have something to contribute to the conversation, whatever it might be. And even if they don't know the subject of the conversation, they're really good at asking questions or playing devil's advocate or stuff like that. And it keeps the conversation moving along, and it makes it a little more fun. And I'll shut up now, because this ain't my show.
No, that's fine. People say hi to Cardut and John Brown Productions over there on YouTube. I said, if any of you want to join the panel, the link's over on Gun Channel side. So I just thought I'll throw that out there yet again. Yeah, I mean, like Wednesday, I think it was when I started having trouble with Hangouts working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got everything set up to do the show and went to do Hangouts, and it wouldn't go. And right. I tried. In the end, I posted on Gun Channels that the show's canceled because I can't get Hangouts to work.
Right.
But we're back to where our topic we're on. What I done, I mean, I was sad that I done it, but it was like a relief that I didn't have to do a show Wednesday night.
Right. Although he didn't say that he had a ton of topics Wednesday.
Yes, I do. I got a load of topics now.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for putting those into me.
So what was the question again?
Patriot listens to what I say. I say, send me in topics that people want to talk about, and Patriot does. Mm-hmm. So there we go. So what do you think about this overdoing it? And because you don't do, I mean, you join live chats and shows and stuff, but you don't actually do one yourself, do you?
This is actually kind of the perfect time to ask me. Now, I've kind of jumped in off and on, I guess, over the last 2 weeks. But I did kind of jump off, and I basically shut all this social media stuff down for a while. I've had some family stuff go on, so it was refreshing. I mean, although the issues I'm going through and stuff are horrible, and they batter you, and you're wore out because of that. Stepping away from this stuff, it's nice because once in a while, maybe turning on a show. When I first started, listening and going to live chats and stuff, it seemed like, there was chats all the time, but there was I don't know, they kind of just blended together. So you could miss one and, jump in another one, and it was, kind of the same thing without the, strict topics or whatever. So getting that time away is great. I mean, my produced content, I haven't done anything in, I don't know, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, maybe. I have stuff to do. It's just, that is not my priority for right now. Just until I get, some things straightened out and everything gets back to semi-normal with the blind guy. But yeah, taking time off, whoever you are, it doesn't matter, you know. And as far as those days, like Clover said, where you don't feel up to it, you don't really want to do it, where it seems like things go better those days, I think that's because you're not so forceful on not necessarily what you believe, but you know your other places, and so you can listen a little bit better. Maybe you're not going to talk as much about something that if you don't want to be there, you know, you're kind of like, I'm the guy in the back of the corner and I don't really care, but wait a minute, that doesn't sound right, I'm going to jump in now. So, you know, not necessarily, you know, staying off and not talking or whatever, but I think that, you know, those days that you don't feel yourself or you're up to it, you will you might jump into something that you normally wouldn't say, or you normally wouldn't go down that path. And sometimes that's what's needed, I think, you know. But
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
I'm just a crazy guy. So, but
No,
definitely a break is
agree what
always
you're
something
saying.
nice.
You know, I do. I mean, talking about, you know, the content, I need to start getting back into that. I used to do it, but then I stopped, and it's more, not that I can't do it. It's a matter of, I think I just become complacent and lazy. And I'm thinking, oh, I got to set the camera up, get all this done, you know, which is pretty sad, really. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe I need to take a break for a week or two, you know, and just say I'm taking a hiatus for a little. Is that the right word? For a couple of weeks,
Hiatus.
you know, to get my thing back
And
on
even,
track.
and even if you schedule that, you know, like Lover says, he does the live show on Fridays once a month. If you say every second Monday or Wednesday, I'm not here, you know, don't look for me, you know, check this stuff out instead, or, you know, I'll put out a, you know, a short produced video or something on Wednesday instead, you know,
Yeah.
people can't complain about that, because it's not like, you know, this is, you know, dire that they have to have something on Wednesday evenings, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
They probably do. I
but
mean, you know, this is Rick's chat, so there are,
you know, but I'd rather keep. I mean, if it came to it and said I was going to drop one of my chats, I'd rather drop this Saturday one and keep Wednesdays, because it's more specific to what we're trying to what I'm trying to talk about, you know.
And plus, how is the traffic through the summer? Now, is that something that, I mean, obviously people, you know, go away on trips and stuff like that sometimes, but summer hours, I think with weekends, that's more, you know, gun shows and
oh yeah, I mean,
girls in bikinis and stuff. So
like now the summer's here, my actual foot traffic who watch it and who actually or even join the live chat goes way down.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it goes way down.
I think that would be something that's more kind of like a summer hours might be more of an evening thing, or something that's, I don't know. I don't do live stuff just because I've never really, you know, I'll jump in and crash somebody else's.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's another thing too, is maybe like somebody like Clover said, maybe during the summer months, like between Memorial Day and Labor Day, say on Saturdays, I go every other week.
Yep.
Because the foot traffic's not that heavy.
Yeah, I mean, and that keeps your weekend from being screwed up too, Rick. I mean, that allows you to go and do, and I mean, think about it. That would give you, if you were able to go to gun shows, or, you know, travel, you know, go on, you know, every other Saturday, because you don't have this show, you're able to go to visit a gun shop, or go to a gun show, or go to a range, or go. That's going to end up giving you content in the long run. That's going to give you things to talk about. You can make short videos. You can make just little videos, Rick, that are just, you know, where you come in and release them on those Saturdays, stack them in the bank. You know, a lot of people don't do that. They produce a video and then they immediately push it out. And I've gotten to where, you know, you have to help manage time and free up time. You have to record videos and things, podcasts and whatnot, your produced stuff, and you have to stack stuff in the bank, put stuff back and go, okay, I'm not going to release this for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to release this one for 3 weeks. I'm not going to release this until next week, whatever. And that way you've got things to push out. So utilize that first weekend that you're off, that you don't have this show, and you go to a gun show or something. And then in between, then in the next weekend that you're off, cut a little video with just like this right here, with just you in front of the camera, where you talk about that gun show and you publicize that. Hey, I went to so and so gun show in so and so city. Get some information on it. Who's the promoter? Talk about that. Say, the promoter. These people put this show on. Talk to the promoter while you're there. How many people typically show up? Get some information, right? And then use that as content, and then just talk about that gun show in that particular town, about how often they come around, about how many people show up, about how many tables there are, what some of the cool stuff you've seen there, right? And I think that could be a cool addition, and then that frees you up every other weekend.
That's not a bad idea at all, actually.
I'm still looking for the butcher videos, though. But
That's true too. Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, talking about that, I was thinking about that like last night. My cousin next door gave me 2 humongous sirloin steaks. I mean, she got them from this. There's an old meat shop down the road. Well, it's about 6 miles away. It's where all the farmers take their cattle to be slaughtered and butchered. And it's a butcher shop. But so I got these big, giant steaks. She gave them to me. I mean, but they just been sliced right. A sirloin steak's just been sliced. Hasn't been trimmed or anything. So it's got fat on it, about 2 inches thick, all the way around it. So I had my little cutting table out there, and I was cutting it all, trimming it all up, getting it like I would if I was going to sell it in a retail store like I used to work in. I could have. Back to what we're saying, I could have filmed that. I mean, this is what you're meant to do when you get one of these, But the time I thought about it, I already got it done,
that would have been nice.
It would have been. And, I've got a tripod here. And I've even got, I got to find it. It's here somewhere. I've even got an attachment where I can set my phone on top of the tripod if I wanted to. So it's not a matter of not having the equipment to do it. It's just to do it. Hey, Blind Shooter, glad you could join us.
Hey, Rick, how's everybody doing?
All right.
Great.
All right. Oh, well, I mean, I noticed talking about YouTube. I see Gabe said I don't remember any schedules. If you want to skip, I won't know. I just show up when the notifications come in. Well, for the last 4 weeks, I haven't had one notification. Not for a live chat, not for somebody who any one of those channels. There's maybe 7 or 8 channels that I subscribe to more than that, but there's 7 or 8 channels that I actually hit the notification, ring the bell. For the last 4 weeks, I have heard nothing. I don't know when you guys, post a video or anything, but started, when was it? Thursday. I think it was Thursday night when Hangout started working again. All of a sudden, I'm starting to get the notifications again. I don't know if it's just happened or I don't know, but I'm getting notifications again now.
YouTube's stupid. And
yeah.
I'll take a minute to just tell everybody there's several things, and I've talked about this regularly, but hopefully I won't take up too much time explaining it. But there's several things you got to do, and we kind of talked in pre-chat a little bit about this. If you're truly interested in these channels and these channels staying around and the value they can bring not only to you but potentially anybody else, then there's a few things that you have to do. YouTube enjoys clicks; they enjoy clicking things. So first and foremost, you're going to have to click and watch, even if you watch it replay, if you watch a few days late, whatever. You're going to have to click. You're going to have to watch. You're going to have to click. You're going to have to thumbs up or thumbs down, as long as you click one of them. That's what's important. Shares are absolutely huge and vital, and very, very few people share anything because very few people are on multi-platforms, which is dangerous because this day and age, we have to spread our apples and our eggs across multiple baskets. We have to. So remember that. And as if you don't engage, if you don't show up, if you don't watch, if you don't click those subscribes and those bells and make sure they're clicked and all that kind of stuff, and you don't thumbs up, YouTube will say, well, guess what? Apparently this person doesn't care about this channel anymore, so we're not gonna expend any resources to send a notification out to them, because YouTube's stupid like that. If you're subscribed to a channel, you should stay subscribed to a channel first of all until such time as you unsubscribe to that channel. And then if you're subscribed, then you darn sure are to get every notification that comes across. But unfortunately, in this day and age, there is, you have to stay vigilant if you care, right? And people don't think about it. Game of Thrones comes on at a certain time once a week, right? And everybody loses their mind, flips out, and they want to watch that show, and they want to be engaged in that or be a part of that or whatever so bad. And full disclosure, I don't watch that mess. That they don't need a notification for that, right? Well, if that's the case, if you don't need a notification to watch Game of Thrones every week, then why do you need a notification to watch Rick's Life as I See It every week? If you had that same passion and that same that same want to and everything else. And let's be honest, Rick's Life as I See It is doing a lot more good in the world than Game of Thrones. I can assure you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've never watched one episode of that in all the years it's been running. It's over now anyway.
It's not described anyway.
So there we go. Yeah, but you're right. I do. I try to do my part for what's going on.
I think YouTube does that because they don't want to offend anyone by saying you should watch this, right? It's probably the part of that mentality.
It takes all kinds, Patriot. Here's the thing with that. There are actually people out there. There are people out there. I know people that watch our content. I know people that watch even as small as the folks that are on gun channels content, that will tell you, I got my notifications turned off. I don't want to get notifications. I don't want to be bothered with all of that. Really? That's to me, that's a horrible attitude to have. And it's the same as those people that can't be bothered to be on this platform or that platform or whatever. It's like, really? You can't put an app on your phone, create a fake profile if that's what you need to do, just to be able to follow and engage with those channels and those projects and those people, that it's important that they have engagement so they can succeed on those platforms. It doesn't make any sense. It's sort of selfish in a way to me.
Yeah. But then I've been listening to a few chats, in the last few weeks. Didn't YouTube change the algorithm again? What you were talking about with more, they want more clicks or whatever.
Yeah, they've steadily been going to a more, we want engagement. We've known this for a long time. It's not just about views, right? It's not just about it's not just about, hey, click the sub and even, hey, give us a view. It's about, they want the thumbs up. They want the comments. They want to see that channel is received well by its audience. And it's provoking conversation. And part of the reason, if you'll notice, I'm guessing at this point, everybody has the community tab. So little tip out there, little Thursday night nerd chat on Saturday, I guess. If you have that community tab, utilize that community tab. And the reason is YouTube has seen all these other social media platforms, the Twitters, the Facebooks, whatever. And they see how YouTube is technically not a social media platform, but they see how valuable the engagement is, right? The back and forth and the conversation and the clicks and the thumbs up and the likes and the hearts and all the other interesting stuff that's on these other platforms. And they see how valuable that is for them collecting data on what what videos to promote, what types of videos to promote, what are people out there engaging with the most, and what are they interested in the most, and that sort of stuff. All of that affects search and suggestion and recommendation and even monetization and the algorithms that control all of that stuff. So, yeah, they moved more so lately in the last couple of weeks. They've done a few tweaks, and I'll tell you, here's the other thing. If you haven't went and watched, I can't even freaking remember the name of the channel now, but I know G Webs has talked about it several times. Oh man, I feel silly for not knowing it. But anyway, there's a 3-part series on a very big channel, and it has to do with manipulation of social media platforms, manipulation from outside the U.S., other countries that are manipulating us to fight against each other and all of this other kind of mess by posting, by flooding. They don't just post, but they'll post multiple versions of the exact same video. And it's always a controversial topic that's going to pit one side against the other in the grand scheme of things. And so that's going on. And so what part of what YouTube is trying to do, I think, is to kind of counteract that in a way by having real people do real things and engage in real life. Because if you have people that are out there that are just trying to game the system and throw up videos just simply to create chaos or whatever, one of the ways you get around that is you push real people having to do real things, right? Things that a bot can't really carry on a conversation. It can, but the algorithm's going to be able to identify that. And I'm sure everybody's gotten those Facebook messages or those Instagram DMs or something like that from a stupid bot. You know, it's real easy to tell that's a bot. But when real people are having conversations in the comments and things like that, yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's easy then for the algorithm to go, oh, these are real conversations. I say it's easy. It's easier. I don't want to say it's easy because people can get caught up in the crossfire. But it's easier because those algorithms and stuff, they have a baseline, right? They have a baseline, a metric to go off of. They can go, okay, this is a real conversation because look how diverse the wording is and how long the responses are and all this other stuff, as opposed to this one over here that's just a couple of words. It doesn't really make sense. It's got emojis in it, you know, weird comments. It's able to distinguish between the two. So by engaging on YouTube and engaging in these platforms, not only are you helping that creator out or that channel out, but you're also helping the platform to clean up itself in a way with all of these bogus accounts and people trying to use bots and different things to influence negatively these platforms.
Well, no, hang on a second. Isn't Patriot a robot?
Sometimes.
I've never seen him, so he's not verified yet.
Actually, Tony and Mr. Rick both see me.
Yes.
Because I was tricked on Gizzard Gary's chat one time to turn on the camera to show off what I was carrying. And then the next time you log into whatever it was, Hangouts, yeah, the camera automatically comes on and they're like, whoa, you look like James Bond. But, you know.
It nearly broke my screen, you know. Anyway, it's 3:30. I don't know how long this chat's going to last today, you know, but I want to do my quiz for last week. Now, there's a good chance only 3 people entered, so you got 1 in 3 chance of winning. And not only that, right? What in the hell did I do with the stuff? Oh yeah, not only that it's a double whammy because the winner last week sent me an email and said, go ahead and donate my prize to next week's prize. So for this week, I got a pair of, I think these came from Clovertech, actually, a pair of you know, safety shooting glasses. I mean, they're not great, but, you know, if you happen to break yours and you want to keep on shooting, you have a pair, or you have a friend that shows up and doesn't have a pair, you got a pair that you can put in your bag.
Well, thank you for crapping all over my donation there, Rick. I'm glad they're not that great. Appreciate that.
They look good to me, Clover.
That way, they're not a $300 pair.
No, I'm with you. I'm just picking on you.
I mean, that's what I was saying because I saw that video with those ones you got. You know,
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
that was cool.
Um,
I mean, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I mean, having a cheap pair around, throw those in your range bag, man, because you never know. I mean, you may be on the range, somebody needs a pair, maybe a new shooter that's on the range. They didn't realize they needed to bring eyes and ears or whatever, and
Oh
so
yeah,
you got a pair there. And matter of fact, you could be the benevolent, gun guy that gets them more involved by being generous and just tell after they're through using them, tell them to keep them. Right to them, that's going to be a big deal. To you, who cares? It's a cheap pair of glasses.
yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. So
Yeah.
anyway, got some little test gun oil here from I can't pronounce it. The parent company of Rock Island Armory.
On core.
Yeah, that's it. I got a Glock pin, and I got flags, and of course I got the great sticker of mine. You know, I got all other kinds of stickers. Oh, look, I got a Clover Tech sticker here. His business card. I've even got another Clover Tech thing here too. So all that's in there.
It's almost like Rick's Life as I see it is sponsored by Clover Tech. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I got Glock stuff here. Got all kinds of stuff here. That's what this week's.
I think you got a really handsome sticker there too somewhere, don't you?
You know. Plus, then you got all the stuff, the drink thing, the lanyard, and some more stuff in here. That was last week's prize that was given back. So all that is one prize, and one out of three people are going to win it because only 3 of you entered. You know, and it was such an easy question too. Maybe that's why. Maybe I need to toughen them up. All right. The question was, it had to do with the movie Gran Torino, and where Clint Eastwood played the Korean War vet Walt Kowalski. Is that how you pronounce it? Who takes a stand against the neighborhood gangs of bullies. What were his 2 guns of choice? And the answer was a Colt M1911 45 ACP and a M1 Garand 30-06. And I only had 3 entries, which is kind of disappointing, but that's okay. So my random picker thing here, and my 3 entries, I'll tell you who they were, because they normally are very loyal and answer every quiz, is Ohio 45 ACP, Raphael, and Mel Smith. So one of those 3 are going to win this double pack. Hit the button. Ohio 45 ACP is the winner of the double pack. There we go.
Congratulations.
Now, I got to be honest with you. I haven't put it all together. I got another pack for this week's question, but I was messing around this morning and didn't get around to it. But it'd be basically another swag pack. And while we're at it, I might as well give you the question while we're here before I lose everybody. This one might be it depends if you are an Avenger fan or not. This next question, right, is to do with the Avengers Affinity Wars. Right? I want to know the make or the model or what type of gun did Bucky Barnes use in the Affinity Wars. It was also used in near the one of the last scenes during the climax of the Civil War movie. It was the same one he used in the next movie, Affinity Wars. I want to know what it was. You know, you can even put on there what attachments he had on it too. So there you go. So email me those at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And it'll be a swag pack. I said I forgot to put it together, but it'd be basically like one of those other ones I just showed you. So there we go. So somebody's already emailed me. See that? They're normally pretty good like that.
There's your winner right there.
Okay, I just got a thing from G Webs there. I appreciate it, and I will send that stuff to you. How you doing, G?
Good. we had to make probably arrangements in the side chat for him to send me a bunch of loot before I would talk. So
Yeah.
okay. Now you're sending it.
Yeah. No, we were talking about what I was talking about filling. I know the two maybe during the summer months turn this Saturday chat into a bi-weekly chat because I feel like it's getting me down. Making sure I'm here at 3:00 every Saturday. Especially when the engagement on during the summer is not as high as it is during the winter because people are out doing their stuff. They're out there at the range or they're out there fishing. They're out there doing stuff with their family. So that's what I was thinking of doing. That's what we were talking about. Do you have any input on anything like that?
Oh, you're the one who has the pulse on your people that are watching and being part of your show. So, do what makes it so that you look forward to the show, not so that it looks like a burden, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to. Because you do your Minuteman University twice a week.
I tried to, yeah.
Yeah. See, I try to do this. My Wednesday shooting disabilities and this one every week. And I'll be honest with you, as I said, I got a bunch of questions for my disability chat. But when as I've already mentioned this, when Hangouts went down on Wednesday on me, it was like I felt relieved that I didn't have to do it. I actually I went out and sat outside and looked at the neighborhood. From instead of doing the show, it felt kind of good.
He hollered at he yelled at kids to get off his lawn. Don't
to get off the goddamn grass.
I mean, I'll be honest. I look forward to the Wednesday night chats, but I understand, taking a break from the whole bi-weekly thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying that on the Wednesday chats I'm gonna keep going. This Saturday one I might go to bi-weekly, and because Clover gave me a good idea. I could go out on Saturdays like the gun shows or whatever I'm doing. I can always do a little video of it and release that to show you what I've been up to. It's something to think about. So there
I
we
don't
go.
know. Do they allow videotaping at the strip clubs?
For a fee, they will. Yes. So yeah, and I actually watched your video. Was the last video you put out on the Second Amendment stuff there, Blind Shooter?
Yes. More anarchy to come, let me tell you. And we have I didn't release the video yet, but since, you guys are the only ones here, I will let you all know that we have a decision on Tuesday of how the Supreme Court will rule in one of the cases.
Oh, yeah?
So.
And that's all you're going to tease us on, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. But, but I think let's get back on the guns here. I think that's how, when you think about it, the Second Amendment Foundation, what's his name? Gottlieb, the guy who runs it. As he says, you get your Second Amendment rights back one court case at a time. Because that's where we're going to get them back in the courts.
Well, it seems like, we get them back, but then they go and they take something else. So it's like, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah. The problem is our government has got way too big and it's taking too much control. And I wonder if any of those politicians actually know what the Constitution and the Bill of Rights actually says and means. Sometimes I really wonder, but hey, but then again, it's our fault per se because we put them there. Now, nothing against you personally here, Blind Shooter, but take the great Senator Schumer. The New Yorkers keep voting him in, for Christ's sakes.
And that's the funny freaking thing, Rick, is that everyone bitches about him, but then when it comes time to actually vote him out, everyone's like, I got work, I got school, I got to go home and cook dinner. Like, no, I don't care. I don't care if you have to go home late or leave early for work or school or sacrifice your lunch hour. Go vote the jackass out so we can get a normal life here in the city.
Oh yeah. I mean, but that's the problem with a lot of them. People just say, "Oh well, you know, it's better than nobody." You know, no, it's not. I rather have an empty seat than have somebody I don't like sitting in it.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, what can I do? I mean, well, all I can do is vote. But I can't force people to do it. All we can do is encourage them to do it.
Exactly. That's all we can do is encourage. And the sad thing is, every election, it's the same group of people out voting. And it's, the pro Second Amendment side, we get outvoted because there's just so many Democrats here in the city. We can't get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I noticed that when on the political side, you don't, living in Rhode Island, I lived in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine. So I lived in the Northeast up there for almost 20 years. Now I moved out here to Indiana. Why I didn't do it earlier, I'll never know. But the gun culture out here, if that's what you want to call it, is totally different. It's free. Politics is totally different out here. Whether you like them or not, out here in Indiana, they are Trump lovers. I mean, you got some Democrats in Indiana, but they're mainly in the bigger cities. But out here, all 90% of my relatives are Republican Trump lovers. That was the first thing they said to me when I moved here in October. Of course, when the midterms came, I couldn't vote because I couldn't vote here because I wasn't a resident yet. But the first thing out of their mouth when I moved here, hope you're a Republican. Who are you going to vote for now? I thought, man, it's fighting talk here. But hey, that's the way they are. So,
well, you can't blame them too, because if you look at it, you get a lot of the people from the East Coast up north side retiring and moving down to areas like yours, and it used to be all red states, and now they're magically turning purple, and then next election, year after that one, it'll be blue.
Yeah.
So you can't blame them for thinking that.
Oh, yeah. You're right, because unfortunately, they leave all these states and they bring their politics with them, which is kind of annoying.
Yep.
If you want the same here, stay where in the hell you were at. That's what I look at it. So anything else? Anybody got any topics they want to talk about? Come on, throw them out there. We're an open one today.
Well, I've moved outside, so now I'm out in the nice weather.
Oh, you
It
are?
It rained a little earlier, but so it cooled down, and now it's humid. So
yeah, actually, talking about weather, it's been fantastic here the last few days. Being up in the high 80s. My AC is cranking. I'm not a heat lover. I can go outside. I can sit outside, but I love being in my nice cool house here. I hate to see what my electric bill is going to be next month, but we're worried about that when the time comes.
I do have a quick firearm question.
Okay,
that you guys can bounce around until I get back inside.
Yeah.
I'm looking for another concealed carry pistol, but I'm looking for 45 ACP, and I don't really want a polymer that I can't customize because I like to change things up a little bit. I have looked at a couple Glocks, the 21 and then the 21 SF. Yes, that is polymer, and yes, that kind of goes against what I was just saying. But I don't know the difference between those. So if you could tell me the difference between those, or possibly a different carry size firearm, 45 ACP.
45 ACP for carry. Hell, I carry a full size 45 ACP. So, you could carry one of those little smaller Commando or Commander 1911s. The smaller ones. Oh, Jason Stewart said a Colt Combat Commander. For carry. It's totally what you're comfortable with. Really. I mean, like everybody knows, I'm waiting for my local gun shops here to. I made my mind up. I'm buying especially for the winter months. I'm buying the Smith and Wesson 380 EZ, but I'm buying the Performance Center one, and it hasn't arrived in this part of the state yet in any of the gun dealers yet. It's just coming out now. So that's what I want. And I want the one, I can't remember what the actual material it's made out of, but it's gold. It's got a gold colored barrel and a gold colored trigger, and the safety that's in the handle is gold color. It's kind of cool. It's my pimp gun. I'm gonna start with.
I actually just checked that out over at one of my local shops, and I didn't know that it was a hammer fired pistol. You know, it's concealed. It's inside. It's really nice.
Oh, what the 380 EZ?
Yes.
Center?
Yeah, it's a hammer fired, but it's inside, so it looks like a striker fired, but it's actually a really, really nice trigger on it.
Oh yeah, it is. Ohio 45 ACP suggested a Smith and Wesson Shield 45 ACP for a carry.
Yeah, because I looked at that 380 EZ, and then I got distracted with a CZ75 Delta. It's the decocker only, but that's in a little baby 9, and I've got too many 9s, so I wanted to jump up to the 45, but
yeah,
that's
Midnight Range TM says his brother-in-law has a Glock 36 SF. It's a frame double stack 45, 10 plus what?
Right.
I've actually checked. I couldn't tell what the SF was on the. I knew about the 30. Is it the 30 or the 36?
Well, Midnight
36 is a single stack.
Well, he said the 36 SF is a double stack.
Okay. It's all Greek to me.
Yeah.
What about something like the Para Warthog, which is a small frame 1911 double stack, or maybe a Bursa Thunder 45? Both metal.
Nice. That's actually wow. And the first one was the Para Org?
Alloy, but metal nonetheless.
What was the first one again? I think he's writing it down, or what? What was the first one again, Clover?
Like the one I got, Para Ordnance Warthog, which I think they're Para USA now.
Nice. Is that
it's 11? I think it's 11 plus 1.
Oh, okay. Is that currently being produced, or is that an old one I'll have to search out?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've had both of these. I've had for years, so I don't know. And like I said, then you've got the Bursa that's under 45. That was the first 45 I ever carried, and it's been a solid pistol.
There you go. Ohio says big 45s are Glock 41 and a Sig 337. I'm just reading what's in the chat here. So,
All right.
Well, I see you got a couple there. Unknown user says the Warthogs are nice. He likes those. So, and Midnight says that the Nighthawk is sharp looking. If they still make it, he doesn't know either. So, he wants to know what unknown user wants to know what you're looking for again. He's looking for a 45 ACP he can carry that's not polymer, for he can customize. Yeah, polymer frame.
Yeah, that sounds.
For he can customize it. That's what he's looking for, unknown user. So we might get some more stuff here in the chat. So.
All right. And I just got a surprise package in the mail. So I'm hoping it's from the left coast.
Oh.
I'm not going to say anything about it until I open it.
From our friend out there.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, it was mentioned the other day that they had arrived.
Oh.
So it could be. You know?
Well, I might make a video yet.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, talking about packages, I received a package from one of my esteemed subscribers, and it was really great. It was 3 jars of Branston pickles and 2 jars of Coleman's English mustard, and it is. I mean, oh man, I've already made cheese and pickle sandwiches already. Anybody? I mean, Branston pickle is it's a spread. If you look it up I can't tell you exactly what pickles are in it, but if you look it up, Google it, Branston pickle, you'll see. Oh man, it's got a nice tangy taste to it when you put it on cheddar cheese. Oh man, make you turn back your brains out. I'm telling you. So anyway, that's just a little side there.
Or vinegary, or what kind of pickle? Why is it so unique?
Well, it's. I mean, it's unique. I mean, it's. I'm trying to think. It's. Hang on a minute. Hang on 2 seconds. Let me go get a jar. Hang on. Keep the crowd going there, Patriot. Well, I disappeared for a minute.
Yeah, actually,
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that mustard that he talks about, the Coleman's mustard. You can actually get it in powder form locally here. And when I was a kid, we had a Chinese family that I worked for, kind of part-time, whatever, as a underage kid. But they would make their hot mustard for the restaurant with that powder, Coleman's powdered mustard and water, just enough to get it wet. And I tell you what, it is hot. If you enjoy that kind of stuff,
it's good stuff. Okay, now if anybody's can watch my camera here, that's a jar of Branston pickle. Can you see it? All right, that's how it comes. It's brown, and let's have a look. It's got carrot, onion. Can't read. My eyesight's terrible. Cauliflower, sugar, spices, water, tomato puree, a whole bunch of stuff in there. But I mean, that's what it is. And this actually, if you were in England, it's shipped from England, because it actually costs £1.59 for that jar.
What's that, about $15 in the United States?
I don't know how much it cost. I can't remember how much I paid for it over here last time I bought it. But a pound is about $1. About $1. I think it's around $1.80 will buy you 1 pound. Right? So that cost you around what, $3-4 over here? That jar?
$1.80 for a pound of pickles? That ain't bad.
No, $1.80 for 1 pound sterling money. I'm saying. So you get $1 pound sterling.
I can't imagine how they do business in Europe.
Yeah, and I don't think that's actually pickles, though. That doesn't have pickles in it, does it?
Yeah, I mean it's got.
It's more of a spread.
It's like a relish.
It's more of like their red sauce or the brown sauce, something.
It's got brown sauce in it because of the color.
Okay.
But it's tangy. It's just nice.
Is that for sandwiches or for on meat?
Well, you can use it. I use it for sandwiches, but you can use it on meat. And a lot of times, if you go into a pub in England and you ask for a ploughman's lunch, you'll get sort of like a half a crusty loaf of bread, a big chunk of cheddar cheese, some pickled onions, and a big pile of this on your plate. That's a ploughman's. Okay. So there you go.
I'd eat the hell out of that.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Boy, that's
Yeah, so I showed you my pickle. So there you go.
So I was doing something before when you were talking about it. Can I go back to a prior topic?
Yes.
And you were saying something about all you can do is vote. I don't think all we can do is vote because we have the freedom to speak. We have the freedom of whatever thought, and we have freedom to assemble, and the press, right? So we have all those First Amendment things that give us more than just the right to vote. We can vote for sure, but we can also interact with other citizens and people in the communities out there and encourage them to be aware. And that's one of those things that some of us are interested in taking on and others are not. But all it takes is one person to let people know, to stand on a soapbox and tell people what their opinions are on something so that they can make a more educated opinion. So the reason I think there was some frustration earlier on, why are things this way or why are things that way? The actual answer, the hard answer, the honest answer is because people didn't stand up and educate all those people who didn't vote all those times. And when a few people can, influence a vote or a politician or whatever, then you have the results of that. So all it takes to resist that is for people to get together and work together and realize that there's not bells and whistles and streamers and a big parade at the end. It's just like mowing lawn or doing laundry or something. It's just one of those things that needs to be done. You do it, you carry on, and you enjoy all the other things that effort makes possible. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. That is all available to us, but it comes down. I mean, I guess it comes down to is people don't want to get off their asses and do it. Like you said, disassemble, do stuff with. I mean, I think you could. I mean, you could even actually, if you had the money, print up a bunch of flyers to put around the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then but nowadays you don't even have to do that. If you can encourage people to print out 10 on each of their printers, now you have the what do you call it? The infrastructure and the resources and the effort is all crowd distributed, or whatever the word would be, the fancy new word for everybody just pitches in and does it. And now you don't have to have a Bloomberg who pays a big fancy place to make a big fancy brochure. If you can just get the information on a piece of paper, get that through a bunch of laser printers, and have 10 people put it in 10 different places, we beat Bloomberg easily.
We did. That's similar to something that we once did, or I've done before with fundraising. Is you do it online, you get a bunch of people from various places involved, and with this, it was for the most part it was local, but still, it's a pain to have to go and print out, have 100 or 200 flyers printed and then travel to, 10, 20 different towns and ask people in stores if you can put them up and put them up. That just takes all kinds of time. And if you can disseminate that, you just get the flyer printed up and then, go online and, hey, can you print a few of these? Most people have access to a printer. If they don't, they don't have one. And get them to go put them up in 5 or 6, just 5 or 6 or 10 or something, different store windows. And that always worked out really great for us. We got great coverage across multiple counties and stuff here that way, and it didn't require somebody spending days to have to do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. It really is. I got some other gun stuff coming in there, Patriot. Unknown user says if you can still find one, but compact all steel is the Smith & Wesson Chiefs Special, but they don't make it anymore, so you would have to look for it. Then Ohio 45 says you got the SIG 227 or the Taurus 1911 Officer. So just throwing that out there, just some more for your list there, Patriot. So there you go. All right, we're coming up. It's 4:00. We can carry on, or we can start winding it down, and totally up to you guys. I'm easy either way.
No food chat this day?
No food chat? Oh, I mean, we talked a little bit of food earlier, but yeah, I mean, after the show finishes here, I'm going to make myself a salad. I'm back on my diet, guys.
Nice.
So I wavered this month. I'll be honest with you. I cheated a little. Since I got to find a different way. I've gone to where I'm saying I've cheated. I've gone to town. When I say town, I'm talking the one that is 13, 14 miles away. The way I go is I go past the Dairy Queen, and every time on the way home, the 3 times I went, I stopped and got an ice cream cone. Which is not good for me. Not being a diabetic as well, it ain't helping me any. So I gotta find a different way home to bypass Dairy Queen. Because ice cream is my downfall. It really is. That's another thing I stopped buying when I started losing weight was I stopped buying ice cream because I could sit. I mean, I could eat a half. I don't know if they're half gallons anymore, but I could eat one of those half gallons in just 2 or 3 days. Because when I make a bowl, I make a bowl. I mean, it's not just 1 or 2 scoops. If you're going to eat ice cream, you might as well eat ice cream. So I stopped buying it. So as I said, I slipped this month. So I'm back on track. So I'm having salad today. I might have a cheese and pickle sandwich to go with it, but I can't give up everything totally in one go. There's yeah, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say I got my first package of the 2A patch batch. Just received it.
Okay.
Hot
You need
off the press.
to make a video.
I guess I'm going to have to now.
Yes. Make sure you turn the camera on.
Yeah, upside down, but
Yes.
they'll be on there.
Yes. All right.
A lot of people kicking themselves they didn't get in on that.
I'm kicking myself. I didn't get on it.
But
I kept saying, I said I was going to, and the next thing I know, it was too late.
I might auction off my second set that I ordered, and all proceeds will go to somebody. So, just saying, put that out there.
All right, there you go.
So for the loophole tour this year, or something.
Okay, that sounds good.
You heard it first here on Rick's.
That's right. A lot of firsts happen here on my show. I haven't done it today, but I normally have a list here I follow where I get topics and I talk about them, and everybody says I'm crazy and everything else. But then in 2 or 3 weeks, it becomes mainstream. The big channels talk about it, and it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. But actually, I said most of it first. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not trying to be big-headed or steal the thunder, but it's true.
We appreciate that you guide them, that you lead the way for them.
Yes, I do. I take the I take the abuse from them, but because I say it's an idea, it's who are you? You're just a small channel. But when one of these big channels do it, it's gospel. It has to be right because they said it. I do need to take a break from the show. Maybe I'm getting too bitter.
Well, don't worry because they always come back.
Yes.
So.
Oh, Travis T said, I got my patch today. Clover's was a surprise. All that green. So there you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to wind this down. I mean, it's my fault. I didn't get a lot going for this show to make it run longer today. That's my fault. But I'm not going to repeat it all again here because we already talked about it earlier. You can go back and listen to the audio file if you wish, about how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking of doing. I'm not going away, but I might change things up a little. So anyway, I want to say thank you all for being here today. Have you got a Minuteman University this afternoon, G-Webs?
That's a good question. Not quite totally sure yet.
Okay. I normally throw that out there when I'm doing my show anyway to let people know that sometimes you have one going. So
Right now. Thanks.
all right. I want to say thanks, everybody. Let me go through the panel here for any shout outs or plugs. We'll start with the Patriot.
Well, I appreciate it, Rick. Thanks for the invite. I do enjoy both your shows. And hopefully within a week or two, I will be back, more in tune with what I'm supposed to be doing over on this side. So, but right. I do appreciate it. And if anybody wants to, get a hold of me or whatever, you can get me at patriotinthedark@gmail.com. And I do appreciate the emails. They are uplifting and motivating and all that other happiness. So thank you very much.
All right. G, any plugs or shout outs?
I like to plug individual freedom and liberty. Thanks.
All right. And Clover Tech.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. And everybody get out there, check out Rick's channel. Make sure you subscribe and double check that bell notification and engage so you continue to get notifications and all that good stuff. And I think he's got a Patreon too, so check that out.
I do have a Patreon page. I don't talk about it, but if you're looking at my screen on the lower thirds, it's there. And anybody notice I changed that? Remember my pet peeve last week? Was it last week? When people talk about their web pages, they go www. In today's day and age, you don't need to say that. Just say patreon.com or gwebs.com.
Hey, look at my screen.
You don't have to do the www. Everybody knows it's www.
I can't see nothing because of all the things are in front. See?
Yeah. But anyway, that's. But what I'm saying is, so I took the www off of there, or I should say, my friend Night Strike took care of it for me. He told me to send it to him, and here fix it for me. So, saying it's nice to have friends like that who help me out. It really is. You don't know how much I appreciate it. And my Patreon people, I love what you do. It helps me. It helps offset some of the what's the word for it? The postage. When I send out my prizes and stuff, it helps pay for that. I spend more than I get, but I'm not in it to make the money. But it's great that I have what little I do get. I do really appreciate it. And I'm rambling on here. And Blind Shooter, any shout outs or plugs?
Not really. Just want to give the quick shout out to everyone watching that. Please keep in mind what Monday actually is instead of just sitting down, drinking beer, and shoveling cheeseburgers into your faces.
All right. That's it. So I want to say thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I really do. And I will be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with Shooting with Disabilities. And I've got 2 emails here full of questions for the disability chat. So if you guys, anybody else out there's got any, you can email them to me at Rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com. And if you got any topics you want to talk about on Saturday's show, email them to me. We'll bring them up. So I want to say thank you, and don't forget Memorial Day. It's for the people who gave all for we have or what we got. People seem to forget that. And that you can have your barbecues and everything else on Monday because of the people who are out there guarding the walls as we're enjoying ourselves to keep this country free. So I want to say thank you, and I will see you all on Wednesday.